Hey, real estaters, you can stream every episode of The Industrialist on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Prime members can enjoy ad-free listening on Amazon Music. All right, week 13. We're back. Couple quick announcements. NAIOP spring concert. Got a little TJ action, little Trinity Junction playing that. So come out and support your industrial networking at the Rustic on April 23rd. Also, available properties, 3450 Bethlehem, 26,787 square feet on 3.41 acres. 1230 South J. Call Todd Hubbard on that one. 1230 South J. Elmer Turner Freeway, 11,000 feet. It's got about 4.7 acres left. They could be available, or the whole 10 could be available with some maneuvering. 1700 Parkside, we've got several 5,000 foot spaces. Call Jack Mercer, or if you want to buy it, call Chase Miller. We've got 4415 Dividend Drive, San Antonio, 15,494 square feet on 1.41 acres. Glade Avenue, 400 Glade Avenue, Oklahoma City, called Tucker Kaysen at Mercer Company. We would sell those buildings or lease them. There's a couple different options there. And then 923 through 925 Slocum, 16,000 square feet in the design district, called Caleb Howell at Mercer Company. Any other hot ones you got, Jeff, you need to plug?
No, just one on Slocum. Let's get it done. Come on.
Bring it.
Bring me something. Let's
go. Economic calendar, initial jobless claims. Forecast is 226. Previous was 223. New home sales, we've got forecast of 679. Previous was 657, so up a little there. Pending home sales is showing to be 1% from a previous negative 4.6. So they think it's going to be up a little bit. U.S. debt. Will, how many pounds?
Last week I was cheating and looking at it, but this week I think we're at 28 billion.
30 bucks.
Oh, God.
But we got the Doziers in there coming in, and
what was the cut?
27 billion. It's a net 3 billion debt increase. Pretty soon they'll get to caloric deficit.
Maybe.
The Dow closed out last week at 41,985, up 497 points. S&P closed at 5667, up 28.62. NASDAQ closed at 17,784, up 29 points. West Texas crude came in at $68.30 a barrel, up about 50 cents. The 5-year is at 4, and the 10-year is at 4.25. SOFR remains unchanged at 4.3. Real estate stocks. Last week, REIT Diversified led the way. REIT Residential was third, and REIT Residential was second. REIT Office was third. REIT Industrial was last. And on the 1 month, you got REIT Healthcare leading, Real Estate Diversified, and REIT Residential. Term of the week. This came from P1 from day one. Israel Gibbs at First Citizens Bank. He's contributed a couple good terms.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But put a bow on this.
Is that different than put a pin in it?
I wonder if a pin means you're going to come back to it, but a bow means it's done. What would you say, Jeff?
Yeah, that's when you wrap something up. You put a bow on it.
It's over. Put a bow on this. Hit it over to you. So work that into your conversations this week if you can complete something. Well, we've got March Madness going, and we're going to make some picks.
Oh, could it? Had the
Jeff had a gambling extravaganza this weekend. Sounds like you did pretty well.
Yeah, this show has turned me into a addicted game picker. I don't gamble, but I could pick games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'm in charge of the sports department on this stage. So, So right now, Caden G Unit, Mercer Company, Oklahoma City, is leading the bracket.
Big week for him and his brethren, huh? Big weekend for Oklahoma State wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes, my daughter was actually, the tournament was in Philly, and she ran into some OSU fans and interviewed them for a podcast she's doing. So, interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah. Baby bro, number 2.
I'm in second, baby.
Is that you?
That's me.
Okay, I was going to ask.
Yeah.
So,
and then best name on here is some guy named Hugh Giannis.
No, Jeff, that's not how that's said.
How do you say it?
Huge anus.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I wondered. Yeah, right. But no, and then what I like about this, I kind of like this, but it's a little bit defeating, is they have this tab on here called Group Forecast. Did y'all click on this?
I have it. Okay, here's the forecast.
I have forecast, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So D Limbs 59s. Is that William Lemaster?
No, that's Devin.
Okay. Well, he's got the best chance to win, probably. Now, we're not doing this the same scoring mechanism they are, because they had the championship figured in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably still true. It's probably really close. So D-Limbs has the best chance to win at 14%. And then Nels Peterson is second at 9.9%. And then who is Dee Dee's Laboratory?
I think
is that
that's Dylan Davis.
Due Diligence?
That's Due Diligence.
Dylan Davis.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's your top 3.
Who's Riley? Is that Riley? Riley?
Or it might be Riley Maxwell.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know who Riley is.
Who's girl bracket?
We had 28 people sign up. So that's good. It's good.
Yeah. It's a good start.
It's a good.
All right. We doing picks? You want my picks?
Yeah, let's go picks.
All right. let me get to the games here real quick so I can give some.
I'm getting fucking smoked in this thing. I'm at 21 out of 28. So bad.
Yeah.
I think my homerism.
Too bad it's not a.
My homerism is what is going to kill me in the end.
Oh, you got tech?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is going to get you. All right. I've got Alabama minus 4.5.
Yep. I got that
versus
too.
BYU. It's already moved to 5.5, because this morning when I checked, it was at 4.5.
Yep.
That's already moved up. I've got Maryland plus 6.5.
I took Florida.
Can't see who they're playing Florida.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna win, but I like those points.
Yeah.
I like those points. Duke looks really good.
Yeah.
They just put a hurting on whoever they play.
Baylor. They crushed Baylor yesterday.
Good.
23 points.
Yeah.
They're probably going to repeat that against Arizona. Give me Duke minus 9.5. This is kind of a homer bet. Christy Mercer's an Arkansas grad, but they're playing really well.
Yeah, they are.
They're playing really, really well. I'm going to take Arkansas money line against your Red Raiders, Jeremy.
It's a good game. We're hopefully the bowl game fury will come out after we blew that. So right now,
yes, I'm sure
the Piggies are beating us right now. So
the Piggies are good, and their coach is really good.
Yeah,
I mean, y'all have a good coach too.
Yeah. Or Crooked Eye.
Calipari some crooked eye?
No,
I was
the
about to
tech
say.
coaches.
Oh, so holy shit. Like, what?
How many basketball coaches can Irving put out?
I don't know. I was about to say, holy smokes.
It's true. And I'm going to go with an Irving resident the next game. I'm going to take Ole Miss money line over Michigan State.
There you go.
Chris Beard, he just knows how to win the tournament.
He does. I took Ole Miss 2.5. I took Ole Miss. Yeah, I guess you take money line, right? If you're going to, I think they're going to win. So I need to move that to money line.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. These games, I kind of look at them more like that than I do the points. But
yeah.
I just look at the overall winner like Will likes to do.
Yes. Yeah. I tripped Tom Izzo's kid in a cafeteria on accident one summer when I was in high school. So maybe this is all going to bleed.
Y'all were in school together?
No, I went to a workout swim camp at Michigan State, and my bag was in the cafeteria, and he was walking by. He tripped over the bag and then ate it on his tray. He just like hit him straight in the gut. My cousin was there, and he's like, "That's Tom Izzo's kid, man. What the hell? Put your bag away."
Oh, very nice.
Sorry, Tom.
I think his son was on the basketball team, or one of his sons were.
Probably.
I'm sure.
He didn't get to play a whole lot. I watched a game where they let him in, and he looked too pedestrian. I got Tennessee -4.5 versus Kentucky. That's a tough one. Oh, it's moved down 2 to 3.5. So money's going against me there.
I got the Volunteers on that too.
I'm so proud of Michigan for putting A&M out. I'm going to pick them to cover their next game.
I took Michigan.
Thank you for putting the
Aggies down.
Yeah.
Good work, Wolverines. And then finally, I've got Purdue. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they're going to cover 7.5.
Yep, I took that too. That was my thought. They just cover. So, well, I'm glad we have some betting to talk about.
Yeah, scratch the itch.
Yeah.
It's getting itchy up in here. As we're flying out early this morning, I was like, oh, here we go.
Well, Jeff, what did you hate about real estate last week?
And I'm really bad on this topic right now. I need to get back in the office to hate some stuff. I'm too far removed.
You said that last week. You're like, I'm just a little out of the game right now.
Well, I got one for you.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, let's hear it.
People still using the traveling excuse. Sorry, man, I was traveling. You know, that's cool, but you posted on Twitter the whole time, but you couldn't answer my email. So it used to be legit, but
now it's not.
Now you can't get away ever. You're never getting away
unless you delete email off your phone.
Yep.
But are you back on?
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, Tammany set my new phone up and put my email on it for some reason.
I know, because I saw you responding. It said iOS app, and I was just like,
I don't know how to take it off. So then she was like, "Can you get off your email?" I go, "Well, I was off my email till you put my email back on."
Okay, we're done with this topic. Next. I will say, what I hated about real estate was summarized by Kyle Matthews interviewing the CEO of Iron Horse, or that I shared on LinkedIn. Like, that really consummated the last quarter.
I think you should just play that clip
right now.
Yeah. Oh, play it on your phone and just hold it up to your mic.
Oh,
Jeff, did you get a chance to listen to this? I sent it to you.
Not yet.
Okay.
It's on my to-do list.
You're going to get to check that to-do list right now.
Yeah, here it is.
Love it.
No options.
It's about 2 minutes, but it's worth it.
I know that's the first answer. Like, bring me a deal. So, like, I'm going to take that arrow out of your quiver to the answer to this question. What do you look for in a service provider? We're in real estate brokerage, but like try and, I guess, generalize this for like any sort. What do you look for in a professional when you're looking to hire a service provider? In this case, to sell a piece of real estate, to lease it, to finance it, whatever. But across all industries, what do you think you would in any other industry look for in a service provider that someone listening might be like, okay, I should probably do that?
I want to know that they have a level of professionalism, that they've done their homework, right? I can't tell you that
So like
before they've reached
competency?
competence.
Okay.
Yeah. I want them to be the subject matter expert in what they're trying to get.
Yeah.
They're asking me to make multi-million-dollar decisions. So I want them to know that property in and out. I can't tell you the number of times people have said, hey, I've got this great deal for you. You know what? It's a Walgreens. You should buy it, and you get the lease, and Walgreens isn't even on the lease.
Yeah.
Right? Or they have wrong information. Or worse off, they take another broker's package, they take the broker's name on it, and they just flip it to you, and they hope they're going to get lucky.
I'll personalize this to
Those people, by the way, I don't take their calls again.
I personalize this to brokerage. Okay. Not that this would ever happen at Matthews, of course, right?
Never.
But how much does an acquisition person average here in commercial real estate and net lease deal, whether you want to look back at Agree or Ironside, like on average make from a bonus, like every time they buy a $2 million property? Just generalize here. Like,
You mean on the buy side?
yeah, like when your acquisition team at Agree or your team here, 10,
It's small. Yeah, it's small.
let's just say 10, 15, 20 grand. It depends
Yeah,
on the deal
it's small.
size.
It's not what a broker makes. I mean, they're salary.
But this is my point,
Right.
is the broker is on average going to make 30, 50, 70,000 net.
yeah.
And the acquisition person is going to make 10, 15. Now, part of that, the reason is they're getting a salary. The broker's not.
That's right.
Again, I'll always defend what brokers get paid.
Right.
I mean, it's literally my livelihood, right?
Right.
But I've never understood from a brokerage perspective, and again, this would never happen at Matthews, that the acquisition person who's going to make 5 to 10x less than the broker if that deal trades knows way more about the site in 2 weeks than the broker,
broker
knew
does.
in 2 to 6 months of getting the asset ready to go to market. So if you're a broker, don't ever let an acquisition guy listening to Lath out-competent you.
Yeah.
Like a broker should always be more competent, more professional, and really simply put more of a product knowledge expert about that piece of real estate than an acquisition person ever could, because the acquisition person doesn't have the time.
Right.
But the reason the acquisition person has to is because they got to go to investment committee.
That's right.
And depending on where you are, some are pretty hardcore.
They were rough. Ours are rough.
That's what I'm saying. I know, like, you will get chewed up if you can't answer.
kicked out.
And so I challenge all service providers, obviously commercial real estate brokers, like, you got to be, Lath, you hit it on the head. You know, and you said professionalism, then you said competency, and ultimately you settled on subject matter expert. I agree. And you don't need to be 52 years old with 30 years of experience to be a subject matter expert on a piece of real estate.
No, it's not, especially not ST&L stuff. It's pretty
Especially,
simple.
I was going to say, but I want to
There's
get
three
you
basic
back there.
things. Yeah, there's 3 basic things,
Yeah.
right? Credit, term, lease structure. Know it. Just know it.
Yeah, know it. Know who actually signed on the lease.
Yeah, understand it. Who's the guarantor? What does that mean?
Outside of bringing you a great deal with
That's it.
Yeah. We deal with it constantly. Hey, it's a net lease. Psych. It's full gross.
Yeah.
Jeff, I'm sure you've never been presented a deal without all the correct facts, right?
I mean, I get buildings brought to me. They don't even know the price. They're just like, this seems like a good deal. And I'm like, oh, what do they want for it? I think they would sell it for something around here. So yeah, it's very frustrating.
Do you know
It's very frustrating.
Do you know it's a reoccurring theme? I'd say in the last 6 to maybe 9 months is the mystery of the square footage of the building.
It's never accurate.
It's for whatever reason, I'd say since summer of 24, that is becoming a huge theme. Like, just no one knows what the square footage of the building is. Appraisal district says X. People still go by CoStar data that says Y. Somebody measured out on Google Maps, it's Z. Like, man, if you're a seller,
Boma said measure your awnings and
Yeah.
add that now.
like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
It's an awning on an overhang on a small storefront. So I don't know, brokers. If you got a guy who's really going to sell, I'd go get an as-built done or a survey. It's $1,000 to $3,500, and
Okay, to that point though, Will,
Yeah.
I had a deal I bought in Oklahoma City. We were quoted 95,000 feet by the seller. And then we had a survey done and they said, no, it's 99,000 feet. I was like, oh, that's good.
yeah,
And then we had it drawn. before closing, and it got up to 101,000 feet.
Ooh.
So I was like, well, I'm going with 101.
Yeah.
But I mean, kind of got two professionals measuring it there and not coming up with the same.
That's pretty common.
It is very common.
I mean, it
is
a building last week, one of our buildings, the survey has one number, the as-built has another number. Now, the as-built, someone just couldn't do math, because if you look at their dimensions and multiply it, it did not equal what they inserted in.
Yeah, there was a little bit of user error, but it was a smaller building, like 3,000 square feet.
6,000.
You talking about the
Buda building?
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. There was just some human error there, but no, it's pretty incredible. But in my experience, the times I'm referencing are all where the square footage is shrinking, Jeff, and so therefore it gets worse. I'd love to get one where it grows. It hasn't happened yet.
It's kind of rare.
It's very rare.
Hey, I'll go back to Jeremy's travel. The reason he hates real estate, because I'm traveling, can't talk. My best example of that is I was literally at Stonehenge, the dawn of man, and they had Wi-Fi. And I took a phone call, or I sent an email or something, and the other person replied, I can't talk right now. I'm traveling. And I was like, I'm at Stonehenge and I can talk.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, you got some news, Nardizzler.
I do. Hold on, I was looking up Tom Izzo's son, Steve Izzo. Well, we're going back. I guess switch screens. All right, so NASDAQ shifts around the clock stock trading, partly due to crypto, says exchange executives. What to know? NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange are working toward offering 24/7 stock trading to meet global investor demand. NASDAQ has begun engaging with regulators, while the New York Stock Exchange has already received approval to extend trading hours. Round-the-clock trading could boost liquidity and volume as traders are no longer restricted by time zones. That sounds like excuse my language, like a fucking casino, though.
Yeah.
Like, you go to bed and you're like hedging on one piece. You wake up and it's like totally blown out. Like, it sounds wild.
I guess though, at least you get the opportunity. So I was thinking, I read that article and I was thinking about this. You know, sometimes something happens at night.
Yeah.
And pre-trading, you open up, and your pre-trading open up could have blown through your stop.
Yeah.
And you just lose. You know, but where if you have a stop in now with this and you're asleep and it starts to fall, it'll sell.
Fair.
Because it's open 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So I like it from that perspective. I don't know why they didn't ever have 24-hour day trading anyways.
I think probably just the advent of technology never really lent itself to that, because like a lot of it was done on the floor, or you had to call in, right?
Yeah. Done during business hours.
Done during business hours.
Yeah.
Like I grew up with buddies where their dads were like actual stockbrokers.
Yeah, I believe
So
it.
I think in the 4th grade, I wrote down like, what do you want to be for a living? I wrote down, I want to be a stockbroker.
Yeah.
Because I went one time and like they're all screaming at each other and like, you know, ah! And I was like, this is fucking awesome. And they made a lot of money.
What do you think about 24-hour trading, Jeff?
I mean, it makes sense. I think it's about time.
Yeah.
I guess the question I have is like probably more to do with like wiring money, because wiring money seems to end at 4:00 Central. Is that right?
I don't know really technically.
That's a good question, because I feel like sometimes I'm like, am I hitting the wire cutoff? And people are like, oh, well, our wire cutoff is this. And I'm like, but so-and-so's is that. And let's see. What if ChatGPT?
So will they start having 24-hour wiring?
I don't know why we have wires, honestly. What is a wire anymore?
Why don't we just ACH everything?
Wire.
What's the difference?
I don't
know.
I don't really know.
I always kind of thought of have you ever thought about the wires that get sent but don't hit the cutoff?
Yeah.
So is the government holding that money overnight and making interest on that money overnight?
That's what I've always
Or the
assumed.
bank.
Yeah, or the bank.
Yeah. So like, wouldn't you be party to a little bit of that?
Yes. I think I want to say 20 years ago, I feel like I would do real estate deals and the wire would get held up days. It would be like, oh, it didn't make it. It was like a day or two. Very frustrating. And I had that conspiracy theory.
I remember in I think it was 2012, I was selling 2 buildings, 100,000 feet on December 31st.
Oh no.
And I think that was the cutoff date before Barack Obama was going to eliminate like some kind of cap, or he was going to raise capital gains or something. So everybody sold their buildings. And I remember the federal wire system got so bogged down that day that only one of the wires came through. So I only got paid on my split for one building, and then the other one came in the next day and it counted towards the next year's production. And I was so pissed at the federal wire.
That's a good example of wires, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Damn, Jeff, you held that over him like that?
Oh man, that's the kind of stuff we look for.
Damn, man.
He's like, what? It counts towards that. Look, you already got a head start. Look at you. You're already ahead.
Ledger says here. But the closing statement's here, Jeff.
Yeah. What else?
The same thing happened during 2000, the Y2K scare.
Yeah.
Everyone thought the computers were going to stop, so there was a lot of wire fear that day.
Yeah.
I had this thought the other day, way back in the day. Would you have to pay your mortgage in person, or would you mail a check?
You used to mail a check.
So, but nowadays you mail a check, like people wash that stuff.
Oh,
like
mailing a check anymore is like
kind of dangerous.
Totally.
I was thinking about that when I was this weekend randomly. I was like, what would like my grandparents do when they bought their? Did they just go down to the branch and like on the first, you have a line out the door?
Yeah.
Old school. Moving on. Fed holds interest rates, indicates 50 bip cut by the end of the year. It doesn't look like inflation is really moving. It is what do they call it? Inflation from tariffs is what do they call it?
Transitory.
Transitory. Yes, that's the word. I sent the wrong link, but it's fed off this. But looks like
I heard a good question last week on that. Like, what is the transitory timeline? What does that equal?
I don't know.
And they asked the Chicago Fed guy that, and he just danced around it. He had no answer.
Well, corporate. Dodge.
It's a term of the week.
Let's put a pin in that and come back to it later.
Yeah.
So if you're
I'm starting to not believe rate cuts.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, they're not really doing much because the treasuries aren't really.
Yeah.
I mean, they're finally starting to react a little bit, but I mean.
What did you peg them at today, the treasury?
The 5 years at 4 and the 10 years at 4.25. So really no movement last week.
Honestly, we're getting better rates than we were 23, 24, part 24. So,
well, we are finding people that are tying to treasury.
Yeah.
We found some lenders now that'll tie to treasury, just like regional type banks, because most regional banks are prime minus.
Yeah.
So,
and that don't work. All right.
I've got NASDAQ joins Y'all Street movement with Dallas expansion. It's going to open its first NASDAQ is going to open its first regional headquarters in Irving. So they are, they're already at 5030 Riverside Drive in Irving. But they will establish a regional management division at its existing office later this year to serve Texas and broader Southeast. They tapped some girl that did oil and gas to run it. Let's see. The office will house parts of NASDAQ's technology and financial crime management divisions with clients used to detect fraud and money laundering, but but will not primarily focus on acquiring stock listings. So NASDAQ's Southern U.S. and Latin American region serves more than 480 clients across various industries, collectively valued at $1.9 trillion, with Texas alone over 200 companies trade on the NASDAQ, accounting for $1.3 trillion in market capitalization. So what does this all mean? Like, if everything's digital, what does it matter if you have an office here? You know, but I mean, you got Goldman, you got Deutsche Bank. All these people are setting up campuses in Dallas. Like, I don't know why.
I don't know why they're doing it. Is it just labor?
I don't know. Like, I mean, it seems like you'd still just stay in New York, right?
Maybe time zone, but it's like only an hour.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I guess you have the, what is it? Let's see. Yeah. I mean, there's a $1 billion transformation of Uptown into a financial hub that could rival New York's stronghold. I don't know if you ever take that away.
Yeah, that's right across from the American Airlines where they're building the Goldman campus.
Yeah. So there's the Texas Stock Exchange. It's a startup seeking to challenge Wall Street's longstanding dominance, is awaiting regulatory approval to launch in Dallas next year. The fully electronic exchange has raised $120 million with backing from BlackRock and Citadel Securities. God, we should have syndicated money. We actually got the deck for that somehow.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
On the down low.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was supposed to have that. Probably should have thrown some coin in, but
we should have just syndicated. It was a $5 million min buy-in.
Yeah, do a little John Andrini action.
Yeah, just
syndicate that position.
But maybe we can just you can just put Matador on the Texas Stock Exchange.
Don't do that. Just stop it. This podcast goes away.
That's called recapping.
That's called like bye-bye.
Yeah. No more fun. Regulation.
Yeah, that goes to like all of us having 2 cell phones and all that bullshit.
Yeah. So, well, that's all I got this week. The tournament will roll on. Jeff, you got anything else?
That's it. That's all I got.
One more quick announcement by popular demand. I think we're going to add Isabella on here to chime in a little more. I tried to get her on today, but she's like, I'm too busy today. But a lot of people liked hearing her last week.
Oh, she was great.
Yeah, she was good. So, all right. Well, we'll see you next week.
All right. Y'all have a good week.
See ya.